Which one of these Buffalo Trace products is the best when you don't know what you're tasting? We're about to find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and yes, today we're going to be taking a look at 4 different Buffalo Trace products, put them in a blind taste test to find out which one is really the best when you don't know what it is that's in your glass. Now, the 4 that we've got for today are probably going to look a bit confusing. We've got a Buffalo Trace, an Eagle Rare and an E.H. Taylor, and then we've got a second Buffalo Trace, but this one is actually the 45% version that you get in the US and is also a store pick here in the UK. So we've got the 40% UK version, 45% US version / also a store pick. We've got Eagle Rare coming in at 45% but is 10 years old, and we've got E.H. Taylor, which is bottled in bond, so it's 50% but it's probably not as old as the Eagle Rare, but it is quite a bit more expensive. The reason I've limited it to these 4 products is because, well, all of these are regularly available for under £100 a bottle in the UK. The 2 Buffalo Traces, and to be honest, the Eagle Rare, always under 100, in some cases as low as 18. And the E.H. Taylor typically sits between kind of 110 and 120, but often is available on an offer and comes down to anywhere between kind of 75 and 99. So it is available under 100 quid, but it's definitely a massive premium over these down here, so we're going to find out today whether or not it's really worth it. The other reason I've decided to use these 4 bottles instead of anything else that Buffalo Trace create is because they are all part of the same mash bill, or mash bill number 2, I believe it is, from Buffalo Trace. So they are effectively the same product when they start their life, but then it just depends on what happens with the barrels, what they get barreled at in terms of ABV, all of that stuff that actually changes what's in here, so it should be pretty interesting. Helping me do this today will be my lovely assistant, Mrs. Crummy Beard, also known as Dictionary Corner in some parts of the world, and she is actually mic'd up properly for the first time. Say hello, dear.
Hello, everybody.
I'm going to run away. She's going to pour some of these into some glasses. They're going to have some sort of indicator on them. I'm not going to know what they are. I'm also going to hide the bottle so I can't compare the colours, although, well, actually, as I sit here right now, with the big light on in front of me, it might be different for you, but actually they look very, very similar sat here in the bottles. But I will hide the bottles anyway, just, you know, for extra fairness. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, walk back in the room, and it smells like whiskey in here, which is a good start. And it all smells like Buffalo Trace products, which is also a great thing. So A, B, C, and D. I've got no idea what's in these. I'll be honest, I'm going to try and ignore the visual of them anyway. I don't want any clues here, really. Got a small pour of each because, well, let's be honest, actually it's still quite early in the day when I'm filming this, so got to be awake for a while yet. The A spot. Ooh, does smell quite ethanol-y, but first dram of the day is always going to. Nice, rich, sweet, a little bit nutty. This is where, ooh, I've just thrown a bit of that all over the place. Well, okay, let's not swill quite so vigorously. Has Mrs. Crummy Beard done me in here and given me the E.H. Taylor at the start? I don't know. It's proper ethanol forward on the nose, that one, but it does smell very nice. Good to go. Cheers. Body feels a bit thin, got real spike that, but I don't think it's quite decadent enough to be the E.H. Taylor. For me, I think it's the Eagle Rare or the barrel pick. It's definitely, I'm almost certain it's not the regular UK 40% Buffalo Trace. It's very, very nice, good complexity of flavours, still feels a bit hot, but I'll come back to it later and see if I still feel the same. But anyway, we can't rank them yet until we've tried them all, but it's a good start, but I'm already a little bit worried, and if there's one thing we know, blind tasting can make you look like a fool. So, nearly forgot the water break. Right then, on to B. Oh, that feels, it's stronger, but comparing it to A still feels very much more kind of ethanol forward on the nose. B, stronger, richer, deeper, not as prickly, but I definitely think it's a higher ABV. It's got much more oaky, wood tannin notes, even a bit leathery in places. I think I know, but let's give it a try. Cheers. I thought that was going to be the Taylor, but it'll be the Rare. I don't know. Oh, it's so tricky. It's feeling better than I thought Eagle Rare was. It's feeling not quite as intense and depthy and premium as I thought the E.H. Taylor was. So one of them is batting, and if that's the barrel pick, then it's a stunning barrel pick. So B currently definitely ahead of A. I'll rank them properly at the end, but that B is definitely ahead. C, hold on, water time. C, on the nose, way softer. Oh, that B is now getting a bit pokier, actually. Oh, and the A just hurts. C, way softer. That's almost definitely got to be one of the trace bottles. Getting eucalyptus out of that one. Strange. Let's give it a go. Cheers. It's really soft, really easy, really sweet. A few vegetable notes in there, say that eucalyptus mentholy thing, but it's not dominating on the palate. It feels very thin, very tame. Definitely cheaper than the other two. It feels thinner. Feels like there's less aging, less everything going on compared to the two. But it's not bad. Like, if I compare it back to A, it feels more balanced than A, but A has just more flavour, more interesting stuff going on, but is also a lot harsher, so hard to call. Finally, D. Well, that smells good. Wow, all of these are wildly different. I think B and D are the closest, and I definitely didn't think B was one of the Buffalo Trace bottles, which is interesting. And then again, A and D aren't dissimilar either. Curious. This is more rich, fudgy, vanilla and oaky. Like, it's more, I guess, down the middle bourbon. Like, it's got some big flavours, but it's still all on the sweeter side. Heaps of vanilla in there. Right, let's give it a go. Cheers. That's really well balanced. Loads of flavour. Not too sharp. I think it's a lower proof. I think that's probably either the Eagle Rare or the barrel picks. They're the same ABV from memory, but yeah, that's very nice. I think it might be the rare, but I don't know for sure. Right then, I'm going to have another sip of water and sweep back through all of these to see what I really think of them. My thought process at this point is I thought that I preferred B. I think A is my least favourite, but it kind of tied with C. So I think provisionally my order of preference is B, D, C, A. But we need to find this out for sure. So, okay. So in hindsight, I'm pretty confident B is the E.H. Taylor. It has got more body to it. It's more viscous. It's a bit more depthy, some leather notes in there. I know I said before, I think it maybe wasn't as good as I thought E.H. Taylor originally was, which is why this comparison is interesting. And also bad news because I've just ordered another bottle as it happens. But anyway, on to D. Yeah. Bit less flavour, a bit more heat, but ultimately along quite similar lines. So yeah, I'm happy with B and D in those positions at the moment. Right, C. The more I go back to C, the more I realise there's next to no flavour in it. Like, it's really shallow, really mild, really thin. And then A. Oh, in hindsight, it feels very similar to C now, but with a bit more woody note. I think... No, I'm changing my mind. C's just not got enough flavour, really, to be pitched anywhere near. I think this is now my preference, and I'm going to lock this in. So B is my favourite, followed by D, followed by A, followed by C. And I think this is the price order in the UK. I think this is the E.H. Taylor, this is the Eagle Rare, this is the Barrel Pick Buffalo Trace. Although, actually, price-wise, those two pretty close. And then C, finally, the supermarket budget end, 18 quid a bottle, 40% Buffalo Trace. That is my guess. Mrs. Crummy Beard, how have we done?
You are 4 for 4.
Wow! Okay.
So all we have established is that you are better at tasting whiskey than you are at blind tasting beer.
Yes, this is the first time a blind tasting has ever gone well for me, and it's the first time I've ever done it with whiskey or bourbon. So, interesting. So, but hey, it's good to know that Buffalo Trace have put these out in some sort of order that actually makes sense in terms of pricing. I had a real fear that Eagle Rare was going to absolutely demolish the E.H. Taylor because of that extra age note, but while it definitely has some rich advanced flavours, it has too much heat for being a lower ABV and an older whiskey. Like, it just doesn't really make much sense. I will say the Eagle Rare and the the store pick Buffalo Trace. Those two are actually kind of the closest fighting, and they are also the closest in price. Like, if you can find the store pick for cheaper than the Eagle Rare, you probably may as well go for the store pick, because they are the same ABV. Yes, it's not all 10-year-old, but I'm not seeing a huge difference there. But yes, that E.H. Taylor is a standout, and that regular 40%, 80 proof supermarket Buffalo Trace here in the UK just ain't up to much in comparison, if we're honest. But while that was interesting, what other bourbons should I do this with? Let me know, please, in the comments below, because, well, I'm just really happy with myself because I managed to get them all, and this is my preference, and this is what I thought my preference was before I started. So that's the first time I've ever got anything right on a blind tasting. I think, yeah, on that bombshell, we can end it there. So I've already filmed the outro to this, so stuff's going to get a bit weird, but I've just had an idea. What if we make the ultimate Buffalo Trace blend? We can call it E.H. Eagle Trace Barrel Pick. That might work. We're going to mix them all together. So let's just see what happens. I'm just curious. So that's the Eagle Rare into the E.H. Taylor, followed by the Barrel Pick. Part of me doesn't want to put the regular in, but there's only a tiny bit left, so we may as well. Have we made a masterpiece, or has it all gone wrong now? Hey, it smells good. It smells properly good. Right then, one more time. Cheers. Not as good as E.H. Taylor, but a little bit of E.H. Taylor turns everything else to be quite a bit better. It might be a little bit hot, but I'm definitely going to go away and sip this and enjoy it. It's not, yeah, it's definitely not bad at all. Right then, that really is everything this time. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you will be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.